Hi, gang. I'm Scott, and this is GreatScott Knitting, a blog podcast thingy. Welcome to episode 27. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and continuing to watch. And if you are new to this podcast, welcome to the craziness that is this little show. Today is Saturday, July 31st, 2021. The dog days are here. The dog days, that comes from the ancient days when, especially here, like in July going into August, tends to be really hot and sometimes humid. And they're called the dog days due to the dog star Polaris being its brightest at this point in the year. And the ancient people believed that because it was one of the brightest stars in the night sky, that it contributed to the addition of heat that was that you experienced during this time of year. So today it was 97 degrees with about, in the heat, about 50% humidity, which made the heat index at around 106 to 110 here in Wichita. So not a very comfortable day to be outside, at least. And thank God my air conditioning is working. My poor neighbor, she just got through back surgery, and her air conditioner has broken. She has a home warranty, but the technician they sent out is really substandard. He's really has been really bad. Anyway, her air conditioner's still not fixed. It's been like 3 days already. God knows when it'll actually be fixed. I've been trying to help her out with dealing with the technician and the home warranty company, and it's been a circus. It's not been much fun. So thank God I have a cold drink, sparkling water. Nothing more exciting than a little bit of Belvie. I don't even know who that kind of, I get it at Aldi. That's all I know. It's just sparkling water. Cold drink, cold air, and my knitting to keep me calm and safe. Speaking of knitting, let's jump into it. Not going to go into much anything else other than we're just going to jump right into the crazy. So knitting, here we are. I have some finished objects. Yay. So the finished objects I have, while the whole world, it seems, has been knitting a Vertices Unite by Stephen West, I simply, in my stash, did not have the stuff, the yarns to do that, and I wasn't in the mood to go purchase specific yarn for that project. So I did pull some yarns out of my stash and threw together the Vertices Unite, which, no, this is not Vertices Unite. Oh my God, I just completely blew that. The Exploration Station, which I have now finished. Ta-da! Here it is, my latest Stephen West piece. I did one of these about a year and a half, no, good Lord, it's been about 3 years ago, in a DK weight. I know, crazy. Anyway, it was huge. But this is a nice size shawl. It's actually really quite nice. The color, this is hand-dyed yarn that I did myself, and it is 100% superwash BFL. So it's a little toothier than merino, but yet still really quite soft. And it's food coloring. So the colors that I used are not, they're not bright, they're not hugely vibrant, but they are, I don't know, they paired really nicely together. I really, at first I was like, oh, this is scary, but like this sort of tealish blue as my main color, and then this tonal violet kind of color, and then this, then there's this sort of peachy, sort of a pink and orange kind of together tonal, and then a kind of a really variegated piece that has the teal, the violet, the peach all in it. So those were my four colors that came together for this. This is the only piece, this is the only pattern I've ever knit with brioche in it. And it is the only time I have ever knit brioche, has been when I've done Exploration Station. So I'm thinking I may need to explore some more brioche knitting in the future. But I really like how it turned out. They're not terribly contrasty colors, so you don't get a lot of the aspects of that pattern really bold, but I do like how they all came together, and I kind of like how it tones down that shawl just a little bit to make it a little more calm. But anyway, I like how that turned out. I did finally get my June socks done in the middle, or towards here, the end of July. Yeah, well, my summer has been a bit crazy. Oh, there's the camera. Oh, yeah. So there they are. The flashing and pooling for this yarn is just so much fun. Again, this is the pattern, again, is the Sockmatician's Toe Ups, starting at this end, by Nathan Taylor. The yarn is the Manos del Uruguay Alegría in a colorway called Cabaret. It is a 75% superwash merino, 25% polyamide, and yeah. So that's how these turned out. I think they're cute. These are, I changed up my sock pattern a little bit from, I guess it was 64 stitches around, up to a 72, and I like how they fit a lot better than the 64s. So my sock pattern is changing, at least for me, to something larger, and that maybe accounts for why it took me longer to try to actually crank out a pair of socks. Is I'm actually doing considerably more stitches. But anyway, we'll see if my sock knitting gets faster as we move through the rest of the summer. It's just been a really busy work summer, so it's kind of slowed down some of what I'm doing. But there's another finished object. Actually, a whole mess of them. Where did they go? Oh, here they are. So I did a whole mess of, well, maybe I should kind of peel that back a little bit. I did a set of some progress keepers that I put together myself. You can kind of see there. There's just some charm gems on a just a lobster hook or a lobster clasp, and so those are kind of cool. Those are just some little progress keepers that I created because I didn't have any. Actually, no, I had like one. So like here's a whole handful of the larger kind. Oh, wow. Oh, I guess I had sand or something in that one. I'm gonna have to clean all those. And then of course I did the whole handful of the smaller ones as well. Kind of see them there. So now I have some progress keepers, which is fun. Now I gotta clean up whatever mess I've made with all this sandy stuff that came out of my bottle and has made a mess everywhere. So anyway, hey, those are fun. So yeah, I got those things going that I created for myself, and well, and I don't know, I might give some away on occasion, but yeah, I just like them. I found them just to be, they're nice, they're small, and they will be perfect for doing just some basic progress keeping business. Okay, so what else? Lots and lots of dyeing, but I'm not ready to throw all that dyeing up yet. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of hand dyeing over the past month, and maybe that's why I'm a little slow on doing a lot of knitting, is I'm doing a lot of dyeing instead. And I have this one colorway that's just giving me fits. When I dyed it on a mini skein, it turned out perfect. I loved how it was going. So I was like, great, I'm going to ramp this up, going to do some full skeins. And I did one batch of full skeins that turned out pretty decently. I had some rinsing issues, but did some correction, and then it did pretty decently. And then I tried to do it on a different base. I did it first on a fingering base, and then I wanted to do it on a DK, and I can't get it to go. I just can't get it to dye the way I want it to, and to also then, you know, rinse clear. It just won't do it. It's in a category of reddish purple, and I just can't get. I'm not happy with either the color or the fact that it just simply continues to bleed, and so I'm just like, wasted a lot of yarn on this colorway, and it's still not working for me, so it makes me mad. So I may be abandoning that entire color and selling what I have and just going on with something else, to maybe put it in its place. I don't know. Oh, selling. Oh yeah, selling yarn. I'm going to be doing that here soon. I have a few more colors I need to put together before I drop my very first set of yarn collection, one could say, onto Etsy. So yeah, I'm going to be going through Etsy to start with, because I want to gauge how people react to what I put out there and if they will actually buy it, before I consider potentially doing my own website. So that will be coming at some point in August. That is my goal, is to get that out there. So yeah, okay, so now works in progress. What should technically be my July socks, which are now turning into my August socks. I have cast on the first one. It's very cute, very pink, very, very light pink with some light blue in there. So it's a very pink and blue thing going on. There's the skein caked up. It's a here's my ball band. This is from a local dyer to Wichita, Kansas. It's called Amber Waves of Fiber. This is on their simple sock base. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, about a 463 yards of squishy goodness. It is a one batch only. When I bought it, they told me that this was just some leftover, some leftover dye, kind of leave no dye behind situation that they did a quick batch with, and it turned out so nicely that they went ahead and sold it, and it is really pretty. So I picked up a skein of this pink and blue craziness, and I like how it is knitting up. Again, I'm doing this on 2.25 circulars. I like Magic Loop, and with 72 stitches on the needle. So I'm just past the toe part and getting ready to move on into the foot. So that's going. Very happy about that. We'll see if I actually get those done in August, which will only put me one pair of socks behind for the year, which, I'm actually kind of pleased with that progress. Now, okay, next up is a project I have been waiting to do, and I'm finally doing it. It is a project called, it is a shawl called Stained, and it's by Josh Ryks-Robinsky. I dyed up a couple of skeins. Let me show you the minis that I dyed up, although I may not need the minis, but this will give you a sense of what the colorways look like. So here is, this colorway is, again, a custom hand-dyed colorway, which I'm calling Stained Glass, which is very much, it's just kind of a rainbow, variegated rainbow. And then a dark, sort of blackish colorway is actually black and gray tonal, which I'm called Leaded. So those are my colorways for the shawl Stained by Josh Ryks-Robinsky, and here is my progress, which really looks nice on the camera. So you can see I'm in the slip stitch section, which is really super fun because it takes that dark color and creates this pattern with the variegated underneath it. So it's kind of it's very, very interesting and fun. So yes, I have started that piece. So I'm very excited for that to continue to grow. Oh, you're so sorry. Oh, it is almost 10 o'clock at night that I finally got to this because I had been tilting at windmills with my neighbor on that whole air conditioner thing a good portion of my day. The other portion of my day, I was cranking up a flat sock blank for a colorway that I'm putting together for my shop. So that took a while to hand crank my own sock blank for that. So got that dyed. I'm not going to tell you anymore. You'll just have to wait to see. All right. So nothing on the horizon for casting on that I can think of right now. I've been feeling very busy, such that I really haven't looked at my queue in terms of what I want to cast on coming up. So I really don't know. The holidays are getting close. Well, okay, so they're not getting close, but I'm starting to think about holiday knitting and getting some of that knocked out early. So There's those thoughts going through my mind. And then also I need to start thinking about, once I get through with this drop of sort of a yarn color collection, what I want to do next. So there's lots of stuff going through my brain in terms of all that. But right now, I have no idea what I'm going to cast on next. I have my stained, I have my sock. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with all that business. No acquisitions since my last crazy yarn haul 3 weeks ago. So nothing new has come in the stash except that which I have created for myself. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm very, very sorry. I'm going to have to stop that shit and get myself ramped up here. So, yeah, no acquisitions, unless you want to consider these as acquisitions. But I kind of, well, I got the charms, and I got the lobster hooks, and some little extra links, and put them all together. So I acquired the parts, and oh well, I don't know how to deal with that one. I'm getting tired and punchy. I think that's part of it. Yeah, so there's all that. Well, okay, so that's all the nitty naughty stuff. Technically, the nitty stuff that I've been working on. So, yeah. So that's where that's at. So I guess I'll move on to what else have I been up to? Which has been mostly work. Yeah. I'm getting ready to jump back into a big load of courses that I'm teaching this next month. So I'm going to be very busy in class this next month for work. That's okay. It makes the summer go by, and by the time we hit fall, things slow down. At least that's what I've been told. So I'll have some time to work on other stuff for work. But there's that. I have been actually watching a bit more scripted TV instead of as many podcasts of late. I'm still keeping up with most of my core podcasts, but I have gone back and started watching some Star Wars. I've been watching The Bad Batch on Disney Plus, which is the basically the what happens after the Clone Wars with a particular clone troop. So it's very interesting. And I'm enjoying that story very much, which has caused me to. I had been putting. Okay, so it caused me to go back and watch the last season of the Clone Wars, which I had not watched. It's the season 7 that Disney put out after they put together their Disney Plus streaming service. And I don't know why, but I held off actually watching that final season. I had intended to go all the way through, so I rewatched all the way from season 1 through season 6, got up to season 7, and I stopped, and I didn't watch that last season. So I finally did, and it was phenomenal. It really was. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to start and watch the Clone Wars over again. But what I thought about doing, because one of the things I had heard is that the Clone Wars was not released, like all of the episodes that were created for the Clone Wars were not released in chronological order. There were sets that were in order within each season, but there were some aspects of some storylines that was like one episode would be in this season, the next episode would be in next season, or things like that. So there's somewhat disjointed in the chronology of the story. So I found a site, Wikipedia, not Wikipedia, but Wookiepedia, which provided me with the episodic chronological order for the Clone Wars. And so now I am watching the Clone Wars in episodic order, or excuse me, in chronological episodic order. So I'm watching how they believe the storyline actually was. And then I'll go all the way through it in that fashion, which has been actually kind of interesting because I didn't realize that there have been occasions, especially in the first 3 seasons, where some episodes, like an episode in season 2, would have its actual conclusion some point in season 3, and it is very interesting that way. So I've been watching that, very much bingey during the evenings. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to, is the whole Clone Wars thingy. Star Wars obsession, one could say. That, of course, my favorite podcasts. If you haven't had the opportunity, make sure you go to YouTube and check out Irina Shar's Fiber Chats. She interviewed the Needles at the Ready gang, those gentlemen from Needles at the Ready, Ray and Kevin. She also has interviewed in the past week Brooklyn Boy Knits. So 2 phenomenal interviews that I highly recommend. She's also have a couple other interviews out there. Well, actually, all of her interviews are phenomenal. Make sure you go watch them. They are a must-see, at least in my book, for the fiber world on YouTube. So make sure you're checking that out. Yeah. All right. So that's kind of where things are for me outside of my knitting obsession, and really, it really truly is. I'm beginning to realize that it is. Some people live to, some people are in a situation where they live to work. So they go to work, they're sort of workaholics, and others work to live because they're focused on their family or their home life, and work supports that. For me, I'm finding very much that work is there to support my yarn habit and my knitting habit, and my fiber obsession. So I enjoy my work. I really do. I love what I do for a paycheck. But I love this too. I love knitting. I love fiber, putting together, interesting colorways. And I enjoy this. I enjoy dyeing. I enjoy knitting. I enjoy buying yarn. It's crazy. I'm obsessed with it. I blame it on the stars. If only to bring things somewhat full circle. So I do have some housekeeping to do with you all. So from the unofficial beginning of summer on Memorial Day, running through today, I have been doing a knit-along of Josh Ryks-Robinsky shawls or patterns just in general, because I love his work. I don't think he gets enough attention from the fiber world at large. So I've been doing this knit along, of which I knit 2 of the same pattern, both of which I love. They're both really phenomenal pieces. And then now I have started the stained shawl, which again is, I think, a phenomenal piece. Very interesting. So I've been doing this, and to promote a designer I like, and to, get people interested in doing things. A lot of other podcasts have been doing some knit-alongs and things, and a few people out there, a few of you, and I appreciate you all, chose to play along. And would I like it to have been more people? Yes. But thank you for those of you who did play along, who did knit some really lovely shawls. And I'm excited that you did. I have picked a winner from the handful of folks that did submit some finished objects. And the winner of my first ever craft along, crochet, or knit along, is Paulette. From on Ravelry is Paulywally. So contact me with through, well, let's see, yes, you could send me, I would say send me a message on, probably on Ravelry, or you could private message me on Instagram with your contact information, your address, your mailing address primarily, because you have won the prize that I put up for this, which will be a couple of skeins of my hand-dyed yarn, if you so would like, if you so choose to accept that prize. So if you would let me know, I would appreciate it. Thank you very much, and congratulations. And your shawls were lovely. Let me actually show you at least a couple of the shawls that were submitted, because I thought they were really quite nice. So here is, well, actually, hang on. Let me, 1 second, please. Hold, please, while I figure all this out. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. So here is one lovely piece, and this one was by Anvita Sinha. She's from India, and she knit this lovely shawl. It's the Celtic Secret by Josh Ryks-Robinsky, and I think she did an absolutely beautiful job of it. I have not knit this one before, and so this one's making me consider it as as something I may cast on here in the near future, because I really do love how it turned out. It's a very nice piece. And the other one that I want to show you is the shawl by our knit along winner, and that is Paulywally's Typhoon. And so I have knit the Typhoon before, and I do like the pattern quite a bit. It's a very interestingly constructed piece, in that the variegated section, which is this lighter color here, is actually intended for a self-striping yarn. But I still think it works really quite nicely. But that stripe is knit on the bias, while the rest of it is knit standard from the top down. So this is just standard garter stitch top down in the this solid section, and then the variegated section is, you can really see that it's knit on the bias, so you can see the angular aspects of that garter stitch. So yeah, it's a very cool shawl. I loved working on that project when I knit one of those, and that was Paulywally's, which again, congratulations. Let me know your information and I will share that. Get your bounty out to you. Again, thank you all for playing along. For those of you who did, for those of you who didn't, thank you anyway. Maybe there will be a point in time when we will try this again and hope for a few more entries to that party. But it was fun to do. I enjoyed promoting his patterns, and I hope some of you have enjoyed working on those. So with all that, it kind of comes, we've come to the end of the what I have to say for this week. For this past 3 weeks, I didn't record. It was really unscheduled to record last week, and it just wasn't happening. So, and I knew this was coming up this week because the end of the end of my knit along. So I just postponed and did it this week instead. Kind of wanted to get my shawl done before I came and posted again. So there was that. Anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in, showing up, giving me your support in this little endeavor that I am doing in terms of this podcast, this vlog, this thingy I'm doing here on YouTube. I also hope that when I get to the point where I actually start selling some of my yarn, that you all give it a serious look and consider picking up a skein or two of what I'm dropping out there. But I'll let you know when that happens. It probably won't be in this next week, but probably the week after. I'll let you know. I'll probably do a little podette to announce that has come out. So I will let you know. Also check me out on Instagram, because they do a lot of updates and stuff there. So check out Instagram as well. Yeah, so I think we're at the end of the day. So be sure to check out the other stuff that I have on my channel. I do still have a lot of dyeing videos from when I was starting my little dye journey. I have stopped producing those for the time being. Not sure where I want to take the recording of that at this point. We'll see. So check out things on my channel. Give me a shout out in comments. Let me know what you're working on, what you've liked, what you like working on, what you don't like working on. What's your favorite bread recipe, and your most your favorite flavor of ice cream, whatever. Just let me know what's going on in your world. You can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page called Great Scott Knitting on Facebook, so you can do a search to find that. I'll also have a link to it down in the show notes. You can find me on Instagram as Great Scott Knitting. You'll find me on Ravelry as Great Scott KCMO. And there's also a Ravelry group there that has a little bit of activity, but not a whole lot. But feel free to go check those things out. Let me know how you're all doing. Yeah. I'm so glad you guys are here and watching. I hope you get some enjoyment out of it. I know I do, and so I'll probably just continue doing it. I appreciate those of you who have chosen to subscribe. If you haven't, there's no cost, so go ahead and hit the subscribe button. By doing so, you can be informed of things that I upload. And if you hit that little bell icon, you even get you can sort of control how you get those notifications. So with that, thank you so much. May you have peace in your home and the fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Bye.